New this morning, we are getting a new look at prices at the grocery store. July Consumer Price Index shows inflation for food prices over the past month. That's steady, but over the past year, that number is 2.9%. Recent polling shows that Americans are worried about the cost of food. In fact, 53% say grocery prices are a major stress. Joining us now is Leonard Jr. from Leonard's Grocery Stores. Hi, Stu. Quite the backdrop you have for us. All right, I know you have some props as well. What items at your stores are going up the most with prices?
Well, here's a good one. You guys could put this on the grill right here, but here's probably one of our ranchers' favorite when they come, sort of like a Fred Flintstone steak. But, you know, ribeye steaks are huge, and meat prices have gone up. We're at a like historic low herd size in America, so the supply is very low, and prices have ticked up. I just talked to our meat buyer this morning, and he said he's feeling even more escalation in meat. Could be around 80 cents to $1 a pound coming up to the holidays.
So when do you see that trend subsiding?
Boy, I don't know. You know, another thing that's really big is we have shrimp, you know, and you know, right now we can either get it from Ecuador, we could get it from India, but the bay there, India has huge tariffs, so we're not buying it from India right now. That's 50%, I believe, and now Ecuador is at 15%. So we're trying to move our shrimp production over to Ecuador, which is huge. We do 500,000 pounds of shrimp a year at Leonard, so it's a big thing.
What about some other items like coffee, like eggs? Where does that stand?
Hey, well, you know, coffee is that's a supply and demand issue right now. They're having some you know, heat problems and weather problems, so coffee prices have spiked. But you know, this is a big one here because, you know, usually what we can do here is I can resource product, sort of like what I did during COVID. We were jumping all around trying to buy product from all over the world, and we're doing the same thing now because of the tariffs. So bananas is one thing. It's a 15% tariff from Costa Rica. We don't grow them in America, so you have to import those, and that's a 15% tariff. Our importers eating the whole thing. They have not raised the price yet. So I talked to our buyers this morning. The seas are calm. We have not raised prices at Leonard's due to the tariffs. We've had a little bit of increase in things like aluminum trays from China and stuff. Negligible. We haven't raised prices, but I don't see that happening unless this tariff thing gets worked out by really next month or even October.
Just to be clear, you don't see your ability to continue not raising prices unless the tariff situation is worked out. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you know, we've been here 50 years. We work on thin margins. Like my dad always said, people have to eat. So we're always going to be busy and have sales, but we don't make a lot of money. Now, I can't absorb, you know, if all of a sudden there's a 50% tariff on something or even a 25%, I can't absorb all of that. As a family business, so I'm being delicate. Like I've left our ground beef price at $3.99, you know, for the families that want to make hamburgers for the summer, and that's a little bit of a cost. Lobster has come down in price. We used to export a lot to China, and that sort of dried up a little bit. So the U.S. is getting more lobster. Prices have gone down. You saw eggs have cleaned up right there, and you know, I mean, the big thing is people love these lobsters right here for the holidays. So, you know, what we're seeing is the seas are calm with tariffs right now. But, you know, I talked to even our liquor suppliers, the European, buying the Bordeaux's and Barolos from Italy and everything. Those are all going to be tariffed. A lot of our suppliers have brought stuff over in inventory pre-tariff. Those inventories are running out. So we're going to be at a critical point, I think, next month. That's going to determine the price of food for the holidays.
Well, we'll definitely be checking back in with you next month. How are consumers changing their grocery store shopping habits? We just showed that poll that 53% of American consumers are concerned about grocery prices right now.
You know what? We have 100,000 customers a week coming through the store, and we're on the floor pretty much. But one of the things you find, we have an app, and we put specials on that all the time. I would recommend, because we've noticed our app purchases of things that are on sale have increased. The other thing is our private label that we have at the store. That has gone up quite a bit. People are switching over to private label. We notice our demos aren't as effective. We got everybody tasting stuff. Sales usually double or triple when you sample it in the store. It's not as like people aren't just grabbing stuff and throwing it in their cart. They're more price conscious for sure. It hasn't changed their behavior radically. They're still looking for good fresh food that's high quality. They're not going to buy something less expensive or day old or something. So customers are pretty much doing the same thing they've always been doing, except they're very conscious of food prices. And hey, my fingers are crossed. The retailers don't want to raise prices. We're sometimes get choked a little bit by what we are allowed to buy it at and what we have to retail it at in the store.
All right, Stu Leonard Jr., thank you so much. And like I said, we'll check back in with you next month when you predict things could change. Yeah.
Hey, one thing that's exciting, you see this? I'm throwing this out at Yankee Stadium tonight at 7 o'clock for the Yankees game. I got Bon Jovi, who gave me some tips. Willie Randolph gave me some tips. Martha Stewart's giving everybody. I got it on Facebook there, but everybody's giving me tips. I can't throw a ground ball, otherwise the whole stadium boos, from what I hear.
Wolf, do you have any tips?
I have a tip. Just throw a strike.
Wolf, did you hear Wolf's tip? Throw a strike.
All right. Good luck. We'll be watching.
Good luck.
Hey, love your show. And Wolf, my mom's a Holocaust victim also.
All right. Well, give her our love.
You bet. Have a good one, guys. Take care.
Thank you.